Once again, we're gonna get into this real quick. Last thing that happened... Oh, the full story! Yeah, and the full story. We're here to figure out the full story.
Oh, right. Wasn't that the thing that I said that we would start today with? We would, instead of, like,
Yeah, a
rushing through
rereading.
it, we would read the whole thing and just swap back and
Yes.
forth every passage. Um, which one, where was that? Was it this? No, that's not
No,
right.
it was incredibly long, from what
It
I
was very
recall.
long, but where was it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Majima murders.
Wouldn't it be like wouldn't it be called like the Honjo incident or whatever? Wouldn't that be what it was called?
Yeah. Some phenomena. I mean, you may as well just look through all of
You
them.
think
Or
you'll be
maybe
able
even
to
in
find them?
gameplay guides.
No, gameplay guides is like well,
Records of
maybe.
fate, notes on first pairs. No, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so. Okay, phenomena, curses. The Honjo incident.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. Do you see how freaking long that is?
It's very long.
Oh my god.
All right, so do you wanna start us off? Do you wanna go first? We'll have you do like this and then the next one, and then we'll switch.
Sure. But I don't know. I'm a little coffee today, so if I mute myself for a second, it's because of that. But yes, let's go. So, during the Edo period, a chain of events that occurred around a certain resurrection spell became the basis for the 7 mysteries of Honjo. This was the story that takes place in the late Edo period. There was once a family that lived in a row house in Honjo. The family consisted of a Netsuke craftsman named Jinkichi, his wife Koma, and their daughter Toki. They enjoyed a poor but happy existence. One day, they took in a man by the name who claimed to be...
Wait, what the hell?
It's just blank? I'm pretty sure it wasn't blank last time.
I don't think it was. That's weird. I mean, it's what's his face? It's Salmon, right?
Yeah, same. Who claimed to be a Shomiji. He was on the run, having barely escaped with his life from something or another, and wound up in Honjo. The tough circumstances had left him sick and destitute. Jinkichi felt sorry for the man and decided to shelter him.
The stranger was deeply grateful for the kindness and care of Jinkichi's family, as without it he would have surely died, and told them thusly on the day of his departure, "I want to give you my thanks, but unfortunately I have nothing of value." He paused, then asked, "Is there anyone you want to bring back to life?" It turned out that the man's true name was Tsuchimikoto Seiman. It's Seiman. Hello, Silver Room. Welcome back, by the way. A descendant of renowned onmyoji. I guess this just means multiple onmyoji, right? Because it's not the descendant of
a descendant of
onmyoji.
renowned. It's just like powerful sorcerers. He's just a descendant.
No, I know what the word means, but I mean to say, like, I guess the multiple of onmyoji is onmyoji, right? Based on the grammar.
I guess.
It's like how Pokemon is both singular and multiple, right?
Yeah.
And he had
because
been
they would say
researching the fabled rite of resurrection. For his crime in unearthing this forbidden rite, he was chased out of his family, but he wrote down everything about the spell in a book he named the Record of Fates while on the run. Whoever sought to perform the rite would need to kill people and gather their soul dregs. Seiman had only researched the rite out of the spirit of inquiry, but thought himself willing to use the rite if it was for the sake of Jinkichi's family. However, Jinkichi shook his head. Sacrificing someone is unthinkable. We didn't help you because we wanted something in return, so you owe us nothing, he said, declining the unbelievable offer. Seiman bowed his head in gratitude countless times at those words and left their house.
Wow, see, they did the right thing and they got screwed over for it.
Well, not yet. We're getting there.
We're getting there. In the same area, there lived an ukiyo-e artist known as Old Man Kanzo. His art didn't sell much, but he often looked after Toki while Jinkichi and Koma were out, working. Young Toki heard Saemon talk about the rite of resurrection, but being too young to comprehend it, regaled it to Old Man Konzo as a story of fiction. Old Man Konzo, inspired by the story and filled with renewed vigor, put his heart and soul into his next painting. The piece, centered around the theme of resurrection, became an instant hit in town. Jinkichi, being a shrewd businessman, saw an opportunity and jumped on the bandwagon by carving Netsuke connected to Old Man Konzo's ukiyo-e. He made up stories about his Netsuke, telling the people that their blessings were connected to resurrection, and his business rapidly flourished. That man unknowingly left...
I thought we were switching.
I know, I didn't. I figured my section was kind of small, so I could do that one right after.
Sure, but, if you want to do the next one, that's fine with me.
That man unknowingly left us a wonderful gift, thought Jinkichi and his family, but they were unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. Before long, word of Old Man Konzo's wonderful ukiyo-e reached the ears of the local daimyo, and he was summoned to the Lord's residence. But what awaited him was not praise, but cruel torture at the hands of Ashino, a female onmyoji who was in pursuit of Saemon. It was her who pressured Saemon into researching the rite of resurrection, which she secretly planned to use to preserve her beauty for all eternity. Ashino took advantage of the fact that the daimyo's heart was weak and frail following the loss of his family and manipulated him into capturing Old Man Konzo, the source of the recent rumors of resurrection. About resurrection. Tell me where you heard of the rite of resurrection, Ashino demanded, as the brutal beatings continued. It was said that the eerie sound of the beatings rang out like the beating of a taiko drum, night after night, reaching even the watchtower of Sugara residence. So that's the...
So I think that one's really interesting because remember that was like the legend was that
legend of the taiko drum.
Why do they have a taiko drum instead of a wood block? Isn't that weird? But it wasn't actually them hitting the drum; it was them beating a man,
beating
to death,
the body.
which sounded like the drum. It's like Jesus Christ. Yeah. Here for the supposed finale of my favorite game, Paranormasight. Well, thank you, Mikey. It's nice having you here.
It's nice to know this game is appreciated as it truly
is. It should be! It should be! It's
exactly.
Much better than it's much better than the garbage we were playing yesterday.
Oh my god!
Alright. In the end, Ashino's cruel torture secured her the information on Jinkichi's family and the existence of the Record of Fates. The daimyo sent his chief retainer to bring in Jinkichi, and the torture resumed afresh. I hate that word, afresh, with the new captive. This time, she intended to obtain the whereabouts of Saemon and the location of the Record of Fates. Jinkichi didn't know where Saemon went, but even if he did, he had no intention of telling and stubbornly kept his mouth shut. The torture was pushed too far, and Jinkichi was unintentionally killed before he spoke a word. The daimyo had Jinkichi's corpse hanged from a beech tree and declared that, unable to bear the guilt of the crime of deceiving the masses with false rumors of resurrection, Jinkichi had committed suicide. This too was all part of Ashino's plan to send a message to the common folk, especially the increasing number of those who sought the rite of resurrection for themselves.
And that's the mystery of the beach, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, news of what happened to Jinkichi spread and people lost interest in the rite, wondering if the stories of resurrection were all but a lie. But rumors that the daimyo's word wasn't perhaps not all that truthful spread quickly when a dancer claimed to have witnessed the chief retainer's cold-blooded handiwork firsthand, and Honjo fell into unrest once more.
Oh! When a dancer claimed to witness the chief retainer's cold-handed blade work, that's the lady who that's Fool's Procession. Remember, she was a dancer for the theater troupe, and she ended up like
the chief's retainer's cold-blooded handiwork is just him like beating or killing.
I'm talking about the dancer.
No, I know. I agree with you. Yeah, that's the dancer.
Then why did you say, Saba? You gotta understand. You can't just like skip 3 sentences forward in the conversation and not expect me to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I know. Trying to make yes, I agree with you. I'm just confused what she witnessed exactly.
She probably just witnessed him murdering someone, right? That'd be
Yeah.
my assumption. Anywho, sorry, please continue.
The dancer. Okay. The chief retainer. We talk more about her. The chief retainer arrested the girl and proposed a deal to put a stop to the rumors. The girl was to say she just wanted attention and retract her story by saying it was entirely made up. In exchange, she would be given a most wondrous stage to perform on, but when the day came, she was suffocated by the mask prepared for the performance. Unbeknownst to her, the mask had been covered in glue as a part of a plan to kill and silence her. And yeah, so her stage was like up high, right? And so she fell.
So that was Fool's Procession where she fell to her death. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that coma or comma?
No, coma.
Coma. Coma never believed for a moment that her husband Jinkichi had committed suicide. She was certain someone was behind his death and asked around persistently for names, addresses, and any other information she could find on people with connections to the daimyo. So that's where that murder situation comes from, because she was collecting info on people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The chief retainer would not allow things to escalate any further and had Tomizu, a Ronin who once served as a spy, go after her. However, she turned the table on him, shouting, "It was you who killed my husband, wasn't it?" Confronted with the accusation, Tomizu flew into a blind rage and cut Koma down in broad daylight. Ordered to take responsibility for his failure by committing seppuku, he exposed the daimyo's plot as he disemboweled himself by the lantern of the soap cart used to give coded signals.
And that's the ever-burning lantern.
So that's ever-burning lantern and one-sided reed at the same time, because he killed the wife and she's one-sided reed, and then he's ever-burning lantern where he committed suicide.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
With both her parents gone through means unbeknownst to her, Toki found herself to be all alone. Especially the old man also is gone now as well, so everyone is gone. Mm-hmm. One day late at night, she went searching for her parents and met her doom, falling into a canal where she drowned. Meanwhile, the chief retainer had made no headway whatsoever in finding Seimon's whereabouts, and an incensed Ashino decided to set fire to his residence, burning him alive. That's the clappers.
Wood clappers. Yeah. So that's Whispering Canal and Wooden Clappers, which is really weird because these are not related to each other directly, but yet they're one paragraph apart from each other.
In truth, all those connected to these events thus far were cursed by Ashino so that their souls would turn into soul dregs upon death, which she had been collecting. All she needed to perform the rite now was to get her hands on the record of fates. Oh. Nice.
Sensing that there was something serious at work behind the recent string of strange events in Honjo, Seimon returned to find he was too late. He broke down in tears when he learned about the unfortunate and unnatural deaths of that Jinkichi's family had met. Seimon realized it was the handiwork of Ashino when he found their soul dregs had been collected and decided he had to prevent any further sacrifices from happening by confronting her on Honyoji Bridge. It's one of the bridges that we've been doing a bunch. What ensued was a fierce battle of spells that endured till the break of dawn. Though those who did not know any better only saw what they believed to be eerie flashes and supernatural orbs of light, which is why he's the guiding light or whatever, right? That's why that's his spirit.
Yes.
At the long battle, Ashino defeated Seimon and obtained the Record of Fates, but he had placed a curse upon her foot. Ashino dragged her foot, corrupted and horribly inflamed, and sought refuge at the nearby residence of a retainer and angrily demanded they wash her foot. Ashino died then and there, filled with agony, and her foot cursed and rotten. Seimon, too, having sustained serious wounds during their fight, died that day on Hoonji Bridge, still filled with regret.
Well, there's Foot Washing Mansion. Yeah.
Foot Washing Mansion is in fact the ultimate villain in the form of Ashino, and then the freaking guiding light, the last one I think that we've encountered, right? Because there's 9, and I believe the guiding light is the last one.
It's a spirit, right? Yeah. I will say I am very satisfied that even though it was like just a curse on her foot, it still managed to like kill her.
I will say, though, that all of the other deaths are very peculiar to me because I understand the idea of like, oh, they were cursed to die tragically by Ashino. But at the same time, it is kind of weird that like the last 2 people to die in this circumstance died in like a fucking wizard duel. You know, like the idea that this game, once again, we know that ghosts are real, so obviously the paranormal exists, but the idea of like, hey, by the way, magic is real is like, what? It's a little crazy. It's wizard time.
and it's like black magic too, right? So it's not just like Eastern.
Well, so the black magic is like Western magic, whereas these guys were also doing Eastern magic, which is like a different school of magic. And so it's like, wait, there's like multiple schools of magic? I guess it's all the same thing.
Guess what? Like... They've opened the universe to going, if they make any sequels, to be set in Western society, because guess what? They've already established black magic exists.
That is true. That is true.
That's
all right,
cool.
Feel free to continue.
However, Saman came back to life, knowing that there would be enough soul dregs in place during their confrontation. Oh, he had prepared a spell that would activate the rite of resurrection upon his passing. Feeling that his curiosity was responsible for the terrible tragedy that had unfolded, he was left with a keen understanding of why the rite of resurrection was forbidden and became determined to seal it away. Indeed, the reason he'd resurrected himself was for that very purpose. So the rite works.
The rite does, in fact, work. Once again, this is purposely vague in the sense of, like, it didn't say that he was, like, fine. I still think that there's a catch. I think that he was revived in the form of a ghost. You know,
maybe, yeah. And I mean, it is to say, like, there is still a confusion, not in terms of me, but it's like technically the rite has nothing to do with the mysteries, right? So that those things aren't true.
Well, it technically does, right? Because the idea is that the rite of resurrection is its own Eastern style ritual to bring a dead soul back to life, utilizing soul dregs, right? So Ashino had this like cockamamie scheme to have a bunch of people die and have their souls turned into soul dregs, but because she was foiled by Saman, they were turned into cursed echoes instead of just regular soul dregs. But then he used those soul dregs anyway to revive himself so he could try to like seal away the rite of resurrection. So it's like you don't need the cursed echoes to work. It's just the cursed echoes are how you get soul dregs normally. Or rather, it's like it's the way for regular people to get soul dregs. So that way she didn't have to go around being like, hyper beam! And like blowing people up.
Hyper beam.
All right. However, he did not know what had become of the Record of Fates. With nothing to seal away, he instead used the remaining soul dregs to turn 9 of the Netsuke made by Jinkichi into ritual implements to be sealed away in Honjo. He placed these spells so that should someone try to activate the Rite of Resurrection again, all 9 pieces would awaken at once. And to pass the whole truth of these events to future generations, he wrote everything down in his Record of Fate's Yin scroll and passed it down to his descendants.
Do you think
so
like the Feast of Shadows is actually what triggered it?
So I guess the first step of the Rite of Resurrection is the Feast of Shadows.
So then that's why all of the things triggered then. So
I wonder, once again, this is all fake nonsense, right? But Mio knew of the Feast of Shadows independently. Like, that was just something that she knew by default. So I wonder if the Feast of Shadows is like the magical equivalent of bringing water to boil. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you kind of, like, wouldn't it be interesting if, like, a bunch of rituals require the Feast of Shadows? Because it's like, yeah, it's nice to get it all, like, stirred up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, if it's like a power boosting spell, you know. Meanwhile, the townspeople kept silent about the incidents out of fear of being cursed. However, these occurrences were so strange that gossip about it couldn't truly be contained. Over time, the details became more and more vague as the stories grew into legends, and that is how they came to be called the 7 Mysteries of Honjo.
Is there anybody from that list that wasn't covered?
I don't think so.
Sorry.
Also, it's quite interesting. So Saman made these guys. I guess it's like a double-edged sword. He made like these in order to be able to tell whoever came next how to seal it away fully, but they also can work to kill people if someone uses them for wrong.
They can also make soul dregs, which I don't know if that was his intention or if it was an accident. Okay. Whispering Canal is the young girl. Fool's Procession was the woman who witnessed the murder of Evergreen Beach, right? Beckoning Light is Saman himself. Haunting Clappers is the retainer who...
The Ashino burned his house because she was
burned his house, but that was before the wizard duel, so that's different.
Yeah.
Evergreen Beach was the dad who... I don't remember. Oh, he got beat to death because they needed info, but then they beat him too hard. Very similar to the
no,
old
Evergreen
man
Beach
what
was
the
hanged.
was. No,
they hanged it,
Saba,
right?
Congratulations, Saba. You just fell for exactly what the daimyo wanted you to do. Remember the story that we literally just read?
I didn't
was
say
that
he
was
killed
beaten-
himself. But I just
Saba,
said he ended up hanged.
focus!
Oh my god.
They accidentally beat him to death for info, and in order to cover their tracks, they pretended that he hung himself.
Sure.
Saba is one of the
so
the
annoying.
village
Just
people.
continue.
Go, shut up, Saba. Foot Washing Mansion is the wizard lady, so that one's that. One-Sided Reed is the wife, and then Everburning. Who's Everburning Lantern?
Everburning Lantern
they
started
hired,
with the
right?
Foot Washing Man. It's
Okay.
interesting. So the most evil one technically is the Foot Washing Mansion because
It
that's
is weird though that
Ashino's.
it's not the most. Is that the most powerful one? Actually, I guess it is because of all of these, of like all of the things, it's the only one that you need a preternatural ability to avoid. That's kind
She's
of interesting
crazy.
when you think about it, right? Like you need to have the ability to turn off voices in a non-voice acted game.
I know that Mikey can't hear me, but Silver probably can. Yes,
Man,
I get
Seinfeld
bullied
really
a
lucked
lot.
out there, huh?
But I just know that I do curse him in my head. Maybe not of this nature curse, but still.
Oh shit, no actual voice acting again. I see.
What does it say?
First is a detailed account of the tragedy surrounding the rite of resurrection. Would that be funny if they just read it back and forth and we had to read it again? That occurred in Honjo.
The Silver, and
back
I
in
will
the
say it
Edo
is weird.
period.
Normally, the curse
The whole story of
echoes
what we call
image
Honjo
is like
incident is
how
laid
they
out very
died,
clearly.
right? So it's still weird that it shows him hanged. That incident was the origin of the 7 mysteries of Honjo and their curses, right?
No. It just moves on. He doesn't address this question.
Yeah, so even though
Yes,
I know
the
he didn't
resentment of
actually
the
hang
victims
himself,
of the
Silveroon, it
incident
was
turned
still
into
weird
curses,
that
which
the
are
images of
cursed
him
echoes.
hanged, you know?
The contents are organized like,
Like, obviously
an answer
it's
sheet, so it doesn't just give us
better
the information
visually,
we
but still,
need.
you know. Ah. Is there anything else?
Iro, what are you looking at? Because you're clearly not looking at Mio because she's like half your height.
You know, he's just thinking about stuff.
Yes, here's what we've been looking for. I bequeath this scroll to future generations to be used in the event that calamity should arise from this grievous incident, it says.
Whoa. You foresaw all of this happening?
And it continues. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather these 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. Isn't this weird? Because isn't this exactly what was happening in Goody Two Shoes?
Yeah, you have to gather 3
Remember,
things.
it's like,
So I don't
gather
know if
these
it's for
3 items.
cleansing. Yeah, I don't know if it's for cleansing or not, but it's like, yeah, gather 3 items specifically.
Gather my soul, that is my cursed echo, my body, that is a living continuation of my bloodline, and my mind, that is my own consciousness. So the third one I don't really know. So obviously the body is find a descendant. That's easy.
Yeah.
My cursed
Curse
echo.
echo.
We got it, baby. Like, that's easy. Tetsuo had. Actually, wait, what happened to all of the things that Tetsuo had? Who has them now?
I thought they were potentially just given to, like, the paranormal division.
The paranormal bureau. Don't we have a list of
We're missing one. Yeah, it's in gameplay guys.
No, he still has them apparently.
I'm sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's quite a shame that he got the shit kicked out of him by his own daughter.
It's so weird because it's like, I guess it's literal versus perception, right? It's like the perception of you actually hiding something versus like, because no, Tetsuo, I guess it's a lie saying that he's not, when he says like, no, you're my daughter, but he could have meant it from like a symbolic standpoint, right? Which is true.
Because you're right. It wasn't necessarily about lying, right?
Yeah.
It was about whether or not you were hiding something from them or not. And so I think that ultimately the thing that he was hiding is not necessarily whether or not Triangle Girl was his daughter. It was him not wanting to say that she's the resurrected, like the resurrected child of like Satan or whatever, right?
Yeah. So, okay. It's creepy stuff.
It says the soul is Saemon's cursed echo.
His curse echo? So Saemon himself is part of the 7 mysteries?
Now that you mention it, Mr. Uraishi said something along those lines before.
Say.
There's another hint written here. My cursed echo holds my curse. My curse brings ruin to curse bearers.
Yeah, we know what it is.
About to say, congratulations, Gabe. I figured that out already.
What kind of hint is this?
Could you imagine making it fucking this far into the game and not reading literally every single thing they put in front of you?
Yeah.
Like,
I know, man. Crazy.
Would that be insane?
Maybe it'll make sense as we keep looking. This is me.
Maybe they'll what?
This is my line. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought it was me. My bad. It was Iro. But will the cursed echo still appear if the curse bearer is already gone? Next, my body is a descendant of Saemon's, it seems.
It says the, but maybe she is.
Whatever.
Wasn't Yoshimi a relative of Saemon? He and Michio Shiraishi, who had the other talisman, both of them are dead.
What about, wouldn't the mom be okay, though? Well, actually, we don't know if the mom is on the same bloodline, but she might be, right?
Mikey, I would suggest reading. Reading is nice.
Both of them had already passed by the time this iteration of the curse was unleashed.
Dang, that's true. What are we gonna do?
Saba has said damn before on stream, but yet she refuses to do it now.
You know, when I
His
don't think about it.
His bloodline was so split up, there have to be others. Oh, there's another note here too.
Where? Is it another hint?
As for the body, seek not only one who bears my blood, but one with strong.
Why is this? Why is this applicable?
Guess what, Saba? It's freaking Okie. We gotta bring him back.
Oh my god. Well, I find it really funny, right? Because this is like, yes, blood. And it's like, never mind, it's not about blood. It could just be someone with good power, with strong skills.
Well, I thought it said, wait, did it say or and?
What's it or?
let's see. Not only seek one
but one. So it has to be. Okay, so it's actually harder now, because not only do you have to seek a descendant, you have to seek someone.
Bloodline, they also have to have a strong spirit sense. Saba seems so calm and collected, but I bet when she's pissed, she fucking death metal screams like Retsuko. Yes.
I've
Believe
learned,
me, as a person who has met Saba and hung out with her several times in real life, she's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I've learned, I'm like, if I'm able to control myself, you'll get like the really kind of like deadly, like I'm looking at you and you know I'm gonna murder you. But I'm gonna be speaking very calmly.
But unfortunately, Saba has yet to discover how to get out from underneath the glass bowl that I trapped her under. So
I know! It's because I'm so short. Everything can contain me. What's the difference between the mind and the soul? Man.
In paranormal theory, it said that humans are made up of soul, body, and mind. That's also just like Christianity, I think. The mind is essentially thought to be the part of the spirit that makes up one's consciousness or one's self. It's like driving. The body is the car, the soul is the control system, and the mind is the driver.
I see. I think that makes sense. I don't know. It's going over my head, at least. So is there a hint for finding this one, too?
Well, let's see. There is. Should the rite of resurrection be activated elsewhere, so too shall my mind be awakened there. Saman tried to seal away the rite of resurrection, but before he could, Ashino stole the record of fates. So, as a countermeasure to the rite being activated, he made it so that his mind would be released from the seal.
So is he just possessing something? Like, yeah, what does
I
that actually
guess he
mean?
would be. I guess he would be possessing someone, right? What it means is, Saman's mind awoke the night the rite was activated and must be possessing someone out there right now.
What?
But who do we know that's been acting mysterious?
But the thing is, we don't know some people, right?
Wouldn't it be fucked if it was the storyteller?
Oh.
Wouldn't
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Oh shit! Saba, what if it's us? What if we are the mind of Saman?
Oh my god, yeah, but we haven't really possessed anyone. I guess we're possessing people individually.
Saba.
Yeah.
We have been injecting thoughts into people's heads constantly.
I guess
right?
Saman's powerful enough to body hop. Alright. So we have to find the cursed echo, the descendant, and the person possessed by Saman. So who do we have to switch to?
I have no fucking idea. I got nothing.
Bro, maybe it is. Maybe it is Shoko.
What do you mean Zack really is evil? What are you talking about? We are playing the good guy. Saba's too small to possess anything bigger than a thimble. It's true.
Evil.
That's not even how the chart works.
Evil. Okay, there's one thing.
Right, but there's one more thing. The second and third ones could both be the same person. That is true. That is very true.
Ooh, but who could that be?
If it's like how Michio lost her memories when she was possessing Yako, Saman's conscious might not be aware of who it really is. I wonder. So if he learned the truth, would he start to act on his own accord?
Oh, then that person could already be...
Oh, hold on a second. Someone's coming this way.
Huh? Excuse me!
Oh my god! Is this, it's what's-her-face from the very beginning. It's, Yoko.
Oh! Dang, she's come back!
I knew that there was no way that such a 10 out of 10 design wouldn't come back.
Such a 10 out of 10 design.
No, look how fucking cute she is! Oh my god!
Could it just be her? Maybe her. Maybe it could also be her.
It might just be Yoko, I guess.
Would you buy this empty can of juice I just finished drinking for 10,000 yen?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Huh? I'll even throw in these bones from some fried chicken. You can't beat a deal like this.
I don't really want them.
Don't say that. Come on, they're delicious.
What the... Yoko, what the fuck are you talking about?
You could just come and speak like a normal human being. Actually, I thought I might just have a picnic right here. Won't you join me?
I'm sorry. Are you insane?
I don't know what this
understand.
wink, nudge, nudge thing's happening. Well, it's not like we need this exact spot, and we can't do anything with other people around. Let's just move somewhere else. Is she back for the Whispering Canal at all, you think?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck her deal is. This is where I would throw salt and run. I'm kind of with you there. I love Yako to death, but she's being real fucking weird. Hey, because 10,000 yen is like $100, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
right?
like unreasonably, like she's acting kind of, I think, crazy right now.
It's like if she wasn't looking like this, I'd be like, what fucking homeless lady is this?
Oh my god.
Like, what the fuck? Sorry, we're in the middle of something, so we'll just be on our way.
Yeah.
There is no way that this
Yeah.
is.
This is like the bit.
No!
No! Oh my god! She was acting crazy for this reason? No.
Is.
Wait a minute. If they die, can we turn back the clock?
We can certainly try, but my question now is like, what the fuck is Yako then? Is Yako being possessed by Ashino?
I have no idea. Oh my god.
Wouldn't it be fucked if she was trying to revive
Part of the story.
Wait, no,
Or
that
I
doesn't
will
make
be
sense
so
because
pissed. Okay,
what the
good. This is
hell?
an ending. This is an ending because I thank God, because if this was actually canon and the story continued, I would have been
And
incredibly
we had
pissed.
to continue with Mio and
And
Hiro dead?
yeah. No, okay, so if this is an end, we come back and this is a so she killed Shogo.
I guess.
Cause what is it? Henchman Man doesn't have Whispering Canal.
Well, he couldn't
'Cause
use
we-
it either way because he wasn't a curse bearer at all, so he can't.
No, I
can't
know,
even use it,
because
period.
we thought
But
she had given it to. I guess we didn't even like confirm whether or not who we thought
I
him
thought
giving
that
to.
I thought that he had found it, and yeah, I don't know.
So she's a curse bearer too, or is it kind of a thing where
By
it was
default,
like,
yes,
yeah,
he must be. You have my heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. This brings the story of the
No.
seven mysteries of Honjo to a close. And who could have foreseen such a conclusion? Unfortunately, it seems the so-called mastermind was one step ahead of you.
can't have been.
She remains hidden, leaving behind no evidence. Perhaps there is truly no way to stop her.
I don't know. I think there's a way.
However, should
Yeah.
you find that this conclusion is not to your liking, by all means,
Yeah.
please
Get
pursue
us
a different
back
path.
in there.
You have done it once before, so I am sure you already know how. With that, I shall be taking my leave. I have been
he's
your
just-
humble storyteller. Good night.
So he's just like, we're done. Reach Euro's choice. Reach Tetsuo. Yeah, it's Euro.
Holy shit. There is no indication as to where we should be going.
I think it has go back to where
Do you
we
think
were.
do you think we just go right back into
Yeah,
that
because
scene?
if we know information, you could say like, don't leave. You know. We could probably skip a bunch of.
Can I auto fast? It doesn't go very fast. Okay. Go quickly. Go so fast.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting there.
Sure.
I
Sure.
sure do love my favorite game, Paranormasight. Mikey, why are you being like this? Okay. Yeah, it's her.
Can we not do anything?
Well, we'll have to see.
No. Okay.
No, they still leave and then die. Is there a chance? Yeah, that didn't do nothing. So,
Is there a chance that we do have to go back to Shogo?
is there a chance that we should have her killed?
How is that
You think
like?
we-
But what is that? Because we already went the route where she dies in the bottom one.
Who?
This is really
Bottom.
weird.
No, Saba, what are you talking about? What do
In
you
the
wish
bottom of
died in the
Shogo's.
bottom
In
one?
the bottom.
Bottom in Shogo's. Okay,
Yeah.
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 Well, how did this one end? This one ended with us having enough soul dregs. We did it and then we
And
just
then
died, right?
We just died. Yeah. This is a really weird part to this game. Like,
But
we have nothing.
But this must be like the ultimate. This must be like the ultimate. Like, have you been paying attention? You know.
Because Yoko, right? Yako's...
Yako is the high school girl.
Yeah.
Yoko is the...
Yoko
apparently
hasn't
evil
shown
person.
up until the begin. Like, she only shows up in Shogo's story.
She only shows up in Shogo's story, and very specifically in Shogo's story, he, like, saves her life and makes her go away. So, I don't know.
Did you just save the game? By the way?
I could. Do you want me to?
I was just about to say, make sure not to save over 3, okay? Don't do that. Kill you. Because I don't know if I paid enough attention to... Okay.
I almost want to go back here, because look how much empty space there is, right?
Yeah.
I almost want to go back here and have her still be dead and maybe figure something out along the way.
Maybe we can insert ourselves. I would love this to be true because this lets us go back to Shogo. Like, it feels like such a, like, I don't want to say waste, but I feel bad not being able to go back to Shogo and do anything.
Mikey just reminded me that I'm not actually watching my own stream. My bad.
Stop streaming its own. Open 2 other people are the only ones streaming this game. Well, okay.
I mean, yeah,
it's a good game,
it's a hyper popular game. Everybody loves this game.
Everybody, as they should.
Silvermoon, stop being on Saba's side. She's not gonna turn me into soul dregs. All right, she can't. She can't because deep down she knows that she was wrong.
Oh, that's what it is.
Now, can I also? So we have no idea. We have to pick something, right?
Yeah, may as well. I go back to that because it's like all of the stuff that's broken is like, oh, you've reached the end of whatever this is, right? Like you've completed this scene.
Can I ask you a question? So okay, let's do a little bit of. I wish I could see your face so we could discuss this. Can we agree that this must mean that Yoko is a curse bearer, right? I think that's pretty obvious. So she was the one who summoned Whispering Canal, not Shogo, but Shogo is also a... Wait.
Well, this is incredibly weird. Why did she die the first time?
Well, so that was my thing. I think she died because Shogo is the descendant guy who reflected it back on her. I think that's what happened. I think that she tried to kill us, and we reflected it back on her, which is what caused her to die instead.
Could she have been like possessed by like Ashino somehow?
That's what I think. That's what I think is happening. I think that the minute that sorry. I think that Ashino is the old lady, right? The old chairwoman of the
because that's what we thought, yeah,
or whatever, right? So I don't really understand why she's evil here at the very end of the game. There's going to be some
actually the leader of the
like, if this isn't to your liking, you can go back. No, right, but that's the thing is that like the game has been extremely well built so far to use logic. So in my mind, it's like, okay, our problem right now is that Yoko randomly shows up and kills the characters that we care about.
Well, Zack, also for the owner of
Hakuiko branching path on the story map. No. That was actually the thing I was going to ask Saba. Saba, what do you think the chances are that there's a third outcome here?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was trying to say before, like, actually the owner of the Hakuiko soaps, I don't know if she actually is Asahino, because if we remember talking to her, like, is it Takumi or whatever? He actually says, like, oh, the owner actually doesn't have any, like, powers, but she, I guess, wanted her hands on whatever the right of resurrection.
You're right. He did say that, right?
Yeah. So I don't think Asahino is the...
So do you think that she's the... Do you think that the chairwoman's a red herring and that...
I think so. I think she could be.
Actually Yoko?
I think so. And this is to even say whether or not Asahino came back to possess anyone. You know? I'm not sure. Maybe...
if Seimon came back, I think she also came back.
Maybe she could have done something, yeah. I mean, well, no, technically her soul... drag, you know? So it could make sense that, yeah, her mind also, she did something for her mind to come back as well.
Right, exactly. And so the idea of like, oh, when a soul comes back and possesses somebody, it loses its memory. Wouldn't it be fucked up if the very first 2 characters we see in the entire game are the resurrected minds of Ashino and Seimon, but they don't know who each other is yet?
That is true, because technically, Zack, because you remember, the thing, they open their eyes, they're like, what the heck's happening? What's my name? Both of them, on both options.
You're absolutely right. That is what happened. He was like, I don't remember who I am. So, okay, but in that case, Shogo's dead. So what are we supposed to, I think we are supposed to go here and just try to get him to not do the right yet, now that we know info. There's only one.
Well, might as well. Let's click it, because I mean,
is there a way to access it from other stories, or is it a one-time event? So the reason why she only has the one story event is that during this entire period where all of this other stuff was happening, she was unconscious, locked in a warehouse.
And then she got out and met up with us.
Yeah, and then she got up, or she got out
and met up with everyone else, basically.
Met up with everybody else, so she just kind of rejoined everybody else's story. So as far as I know, there's no way to add more to this, but I don't know, because like even if we used our like super knowledge and like sent somebody to the factory, she would still be unconscious. It wouldn't change anything, you know.
Yeah, and plus she had to get up in order to get ever burning land.
But that's the other thing, though, that doesn't make any sense.
Guiding light.
How does this work? Because remember, the guiding light only came into existence because of Mayu.
Oh yeah, so it's like she had to stay there in order for her to get the guiding light.
But the guiding light but the cursed echoes only are summoned by descendants of the people who died. So does that mean Mayu is also a descendant of Seimin?
I thought you just had to like fulfill a requirement, like a type of like, oh, you have to feel a certain way. Yeah, I don't think it's a descendant. Yeah, I think it's just you have to fulfill a condition. I remember them using the word
descendant before, but then I think we discussed whether or not descendant was the right word. I think you're right, because I don't think Tetsuo is like the descendant of the father, because he didn't have any descendants, because his only descendant, Toko, died.
Can you scroll down the line, by the way? The story.
To the right.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
I think that just for the sake of exploration, let's go here and see if we can do something.
Yeah.
See if we can continue this with Shogo and Yoko's dead.
Because, yeah, I still don't understand why he ends up dying. You know? Because he collected the soul dregs. But he's dead. Why did he die? Start from the beginning? Do you want to like...
I was going to just do it from the very end. I got curious and looked it up. I won't say anything since I don't understand stuff, but there is another conclusion somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there has to be. I figured, because I don't think they would let the like audience... Because this is a very unsatisfactory ending. And they even say, right, the storyteller's like, calm down, Haruo,
Lady,
okay? Haruo, please.
Haruo, come on. It actually is really interesting that Haruo ended up with the wooden clappers, because the wooden clappers was the death of the attendant, right? The retainer, who was also not a good person.
Wasn't the chief retainer the one, or was it the chief? I don't know the difference between these two, I guess, right now. The one who, like, captured the other two, I guess. And...
It was the whatever retainer. I don't remember their... I just remember there was a retainer that was sent. I don't think there was multiple.
Okay. Because the thing is, so in this case, you'd have to go to items and, like, throw out...
And then throw it away immediately, so that way she freaks out.
Yeah, but this doesn't... Yeah, I don't actually remember.
By the way, I could have swore didn't this end with something along the lines of what's his face? Seinfeld? Isn't that how we finished? Wouldn't it be funny if we just threw away the curse stone?
She dives into the pool.
Oh.
What?
I can't throw it out?
We should still have this information. Can we talk to her? Do we have a different talking option? Okay, no, this feels the same. I wonder why she doesn't ask.
Down?
Yeah. This is weird.
That is very strange. I don't really know. I mean, maybe we have to loop it, but that seems weird. It is kind of funny coming back to these early scenes with all the stuff that
Oh
we know
yeah,
now.
so her being like, I don't mind getting my hands dirty, but she's like trying not to. It's just on a whim. Why can't we? Do we have to?
I mean, I just wanted to try to loop it.
What if you could go back to the start before? Because weren't we the ones who chose the option that we're Shogo Okie?
So you're thinking that if we go back to the very start and we say Seimin, we fucking ascend to godhood, and we just, obviously I'm citing hyperbole here, but I'm not gonna lie, Saba, that's a good idea.
Well, because I don't know whether or not something will happen, you know? But also, this is weird why this is, why we should have this information, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder if we zoom out, the storyteller will be gone still.
I mean, he said he would take his leave, right? So maybe.
No,
Nope, he's back. Yeah, we're back in.
Okay, so he just appears.
Hey, lady. Items, yen, throw it away. Thank you. Yep, throw it away.
Yes, really throw it away.
And once again, this is why I think that we are the spirit of Seimin, specifically. I forgot about her crazy face!
Oh my god. And we just kill her.
Oh, wait, no. So this can't be right, then. Because Haraway dies, and that fucks up the timeline too much. Okay. I hate to do this, because I know we just skipped through all that
we killed
stuff.
a lot of people until then, I believe, anyway.
Yeah.
Like, we killed...
Let's
go back to the
your
beginning
idea,
of
which
Shogo.
Is it this one?
Yeah, let's just start. Yeah, restart.
Restart or resume?
You want to say actually resume? Let's see if we can... It'll... Start from introduction.
Introduction. Which I think was restart, but that works too. Yes!
The title!
Oh, fuck. It's what's his face. Yep. Okay, that's autosave.
Wow! Menu button!
Can you believe it?
What?
Wait.
No, keep going. What if our name isn't Obo? If our name is Seimin? I don't know. Keep going. These are suggestions that we could do. Because I don't think we can... This is just presented by you. I think that's a little... I don't want to say it's too meta, because this game's pretty meta, but, like, I want to try first being, like, Shogo is Seimin. Before we start saying it's us.
I'm about to say, that'd be kind of insane if I had to change my fucking Steam name to Seimin.
That's a little... I don't know. This is a weird question. Does this question actually have any implications to it? But I agree with what you're saying. I would be like, I don't want it. I don't think it's worth it. You know?
After this game? Yeah. No.
He said the same thing, by the way.
Okay.
As before.
How do you remember that?
Crazy stuff. I like this idea of, like, are you old enough to remember having, like, those phones? Or are you too young and you think this is a relic of the past?
What the fuck?
Oh, this is the thing where he's dead, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like, man found drowned. Excuse me. Focus. So after Paranormasight, what's next on the list? Little Goody Two Shoes. We played it on Halloween. We're gonna be doing more of that.
We're gonna switch over to it after we finish this. Man, I really do like this game, though. It's
This game is awesome.
Did a really good job. I'd like more games like this.
I agree. It's a shame that this game did not make its money back. Hey. Okay.
Earth to Shogo Kie. So she said her name, but I'm hoping we can.
I don't think so.
Sound good. Okay. Because he had amnesia, like, right?
Yeah.
I remember the amnesia.
Ah, right. She does that thing.
I think I found to say the other conclusion was the hardest ending to get. Okay. Well, after a while, maybe we can play the hot and cold game. Once again, this feels like, you know, it could be.
She's evil. Paranormal fanatic.
Was this a flashback? No, it's with
Yeah,
very
so when we
happy
first
music.
met her-
This is unfortunate. Because I swear I remember we had to click that we're Shogo Okie, but maybe not.
I could have sworn that you were right.
Well, let us finish this sequence, Mikey. And whether or not this works out, maybe based off of like the theories we've been kind of spouting so far, maybe you can tell us kind of if we're in the right ballpark or something.
Well, it's also tough, right? Because I appreciate Mikey's assistance, and I do think we're going to need it here in a minute, because I'm kind of spinning my wheels a little bit. But unfortunately, since Mikey hasn't been super invested in this game, which is fair, you don't have to be, it does mean that I don't know if Mikey's going to know exactly how to drop hints, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's why I
But,
figure
you know,
like we
we'll
could do
figure
the
it
hot
out.
and cold thing where it's like, oh, if we're talking about like we're talking about it has something to do with Shogo and Shogo's storyline, Mikey could be like, yeah, you're in the right ballpark, right? I figure something like that could work. I'm hoping it's not actually having something to do with restart. Because it's weird that resume versus restart exists, right, Zach? Because when we press resume, it starts at the beginning.
Yeah.
We clicked introduction. So why is there a restart?
I have to, Is there something? Oh, recall maybe?
Is there anything else we can do?
Right, the whole
liquor.
analogy with the liquor and stuff.
Yeah. I wonder if this is a second-sided thing where she's like, you can see me as being... What is it? Asahino.
I don't know. I don't feel confident in that. I could have sworn that you were right, where there was a thing where we had to say what our name was, but we just did that and it didn't do nothing, so I don't know.
Yeah, like it already said Shogo.
It started with Shogo immediately.
Which is weird, because I swear I thought I remember it was like question marks, right, at first?
Hey Saba, I'm gonna send you something in on air, but I have the image spoiler just in case. Could you read it over and see if it lines up with what you've done so far? Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna clear up some notifications real quick.
So yeah, I'll wait on air. You want to send something? Yeah, we just did that. Yeah. That was something we just did. That was the thing we clicked onto again. Yeah, if you go to the thing real fast just so I could show him, go to the right all the way to the end of Tetsuo's. Yeah, that's conclusion. So we just did that. And this is the place where Mio and Yuro died.
Yes. By getting murdered by Yoko, evil
Yoko. And we're like, excuse me, this cannot happen.
Like, what an unsatisfying ending. Yoko just randomly shows up, starts rambling about chicken bones and empty soda cans, and then, like, two of my favorite characters just fucking die.
Well, you know what's weird, right? Is that every other time where something's happened where we die, right? We're normally able to go back. Also, who are we inhabiting now that Tetsuo's dead? Where are we? Because normally we inhabit someone, right?
That's a really good point. I don't know. That is a very good point, though. We've done it. It's happened before where we are able to like witness a scene from outside of our character's body. It has happened, especially in like Harue's story. That happened quite frequently, mostly because they just wanted to show the pretty woman on screen. But at the same time, that is very interesting. Part of ending 6, but it doesn't show the answers throughout. Again, I'll spoiler the image. Okay.
Okay.
Do you wanna do this, Saba, or do you want me to do it so that way it's a surprise for you?
Do you care whether or not you know?
I am not really one for... Okay, so the way that I see this, I typically have bigger reactions than you do, but I want you to have the best experience possible. And I don't really mind spoilers because they don't really affect me. But it is the sort of thing where, like, if I am about to read this thing that Mikey's about to send and it fucking sends me to the moon, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be, like... I guess that's all... I guess that's what I mean to say. Like,
because I too like thinking it out, right? And I like both of us doing it. Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll take up stream time.
Oh, it seems pretty complex.
How about this? Let's do a little bit, because once again, Mikey doesn't really know what clues to give. So how about we do a little bit of like, how about we narrow down the options a little bit with Mikey, and then we can see if we can logically figure it out, and Mikey can just tell us if we're right or wrong. We'll do this for like 10-15 minutes, and if we're wrong, then we'll just look at the thing that Mikey said and spoil the image.
That is
there
true.
For when you give
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, once again, like a hot or cold sort of. I like that. Yeah.
So my first question is, what timeline are we supposed to be in right now, or like which character are we supposed to be in right now? Because it's like
I genuinely
have no idea.
I don't think it's Haruo. I don't think it's Yako
either.
Yeah.
I think Haruo is gonna have something at the very end because her thing with her son still isn't resolved. I'm just following the guy without the context.
Well, I think for the most part, Mikey, based off the stuff you were saying, like, you have names, right? You have the names of people. Like, normally they give you a name based off of, like, the image above that, like, tells you, like, where you need to kind of go.
How incredible would it be if he just brought up, like, a random name that we have no idea? like it's a new character. I would go bananas.
But yeah, I wonder if you can.
Howdy,
hello.
Welcome back.
Hello, welcome back to the end of this game.
Hopefully, if we can figure it out.
Not sure. Let's see. Well, let's see, Mikey. We can kind of say like, if they provide.
You know who I wish was here? I wish Az was here.
Yeah, I
Because
was
as seemed
helping
to
us
know what
out.
they were doing. Okay, I'm gonna copy paste a snippet. You don't need to find the spirit of Yako.
The
You
spirit in
do,
Yako, which is outside the factory.
which is outside the factory. You don't need to find the spirit? Oh, is this in reference to the thing that we did where outside the factory we found a spirit? Do we have to keep finding that spirit over and over in different people's timelines? That would be crazy if that was the case. You can think about that for a second. I'll just explain really briefly to Andy. This game is a like mystery visual novel sort of thing. You're coming in at the very tail end, so obviously the vast majority of what we're talking about isn't really going to make sense. But it has great art, great storytelling, great character writing. Saba and I fucking love this game. It's really good. We started it for Halloween, and we're trying to finish it now, like deep into November. But it's very good. It's about like ghosts and murders and like Japanese occult rituals and stuff. It's very cool. So
what I'm thinking is that, remember when they said we found the spear in Harue's timeline?
do you think
That didn't really
moved
change anything,
into
though.
someone? Do you think that
Maybe.
the spirit has now moved into somebody else's timeline?
Maybe, because it's like something's changed and nothing in that timeline had changed, right?
So okay, so just thinking about it real quick, when we did that, it was because Haraway and JoJo Detective had a period of time where they were able to free roam wherever they wanted, right?
Yes.
Did Yako... Wait, no, sorry. The thing he said was you don't need to find the spirit in Yako's timeline.
So it has to be someone else. So it could be
else...
Tetsuo. Or even Shogo.
But do we remember... Shogo had the opportunity to wander around for a bit. That is something that happened. Do you want to try that? The spirits in his timeline now?
Yeah. Is it the... What point is this in? Start from the coaster and start... I think, actually, you could skip this part. I think this could be the one right after.
I think it's this one?
Yeah. Resume in, like...
Location select. Okay, that's the bridge where the factory is. Let's see if it's here.
Oh, I forgot he's here.
I forgot Detective JoJo's here.
Yikes. We could still maybe look, right?
There doesn't appear to be anything there.
Does it have to be that specific? There's a specific time of day. I don't know if it's supposed to be something where it's like, oh, during that same time.
You talking about Shogo?
No, for like the spirit thing, like it has to be similar time frames.
Are you talking about something that was in its myth that we should review, or are you just trying to think?
I'm just trying to think, because it's like Haraway.
Okay.
It says something changed with the bridge, and I'm like, oh, is this the thing where it's
not
like
here, by the way, so we gotta find something else.
JoJo man.
So it's not.
When did it happen in her timeline, Haraway's?
Oh, super late. It was like pretty late. I want to say it was actually last resort, if anything. No.
Last resort is she kills
when Triangle Girl showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's when she kills Tono.
So it must have been too much to handle.
If we cut straight down, in Tetsuo's
from hers.
Yeah, go down.
You think
standing by? Yeah, you want to try to see if we
we could try that.
Around and standing
by?
That
that sounds as good as anything to me.
What's happening here? I don't remember.
What I can say
is it's somewhere in Shogo's
timeline. Okay, well that saves us a lot of trial
of there. Okay. No, we do. Yeah. That was nice.
So if it's somewhere in Shogo's timeline.
Wait a minute. Can you? Maybe it is there, and we just maybe regardless if we talk to him, maybe we have to trigger his thing, but we stay there and then look after.
Okay, sure. I don't have the lighter on me yet. Okay.
Can we just not pick up the lighter and then go talk to her? Haraway?
There was something... No, because you need the lighter to not die to, Araishi.
Yes, I remember that.
Hello, Detective Jojo. Most beautiful man in the whole world.
Looking kind of insane right here, but...
Who are you?
Oh yeah, but we don't have the lighter. So remember he asked us whether or not we had a light on us here?
Yeah, that was because he was gathering info for Haraway.
We can give our name. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
And then he's just like, stop! Don't
this
give
man
me...
is the most trustworthy man in the entire game, so...
You call me Richter Kai!
You know something that they never address in stuff like this? So Richter Kai, obviously this game takes place over the course of like 24 hours, so it's not actually that long. How often do you think fucking Detective Jojo works out?
I mean, he's been running all over town.
Yeah,
based
you don't
off
get
of what I'm
text from running though. It's the thing.
Climbing trees, jumping on people to...
Richter is definitely the kind of guy who would make a habit out of saving cats, though.
I saw a strange man. What was I? Looking for the...
That's literally what we're looking for right now, by the way.
Yeah, funny enough. Someone said they saw the beckoning light here. I think that's just him. Why don't we wait together? Yeah. No, don't go! Frick. Ask him again to stay with us. Let's look together. Did you just give it to us?
I don't know. My work is top secret. Did he just give it to us? No, he didn't.
No, he's just like, oh, that's okay.
It doesn't appear.
We can't look around. Bridge? You do. Apparently, Bridge is on... Think? No. I wasn't thinking.
Thank you.
He seems like, no! He's the most trustworthy man ever!
He is the most trustworthy man in the whole game. I promise you this. He's one of the only hot people in this game that isn't a villain. Can you believe that? Wait, that's super wrong, because Mayu's also not a villain. Sorry. Is this a thing where, like, we can move and then come back? Maybe
and then he'll be gone? We do realize Richter managed to get unbelievably lucky, by the way, to not turn around. Oh, that's the thing. We should leave.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Even I don't trust him. Well, you just showed up at the tail ass end of the game. That's why you don't trust this man. This man collects fucking bird stickers. He's so trustworthy. Okay, well, we got that. Back to the bridge. Let's see if anything's changed.
Oh,
he's still there.
We come back, we're like, hey, bro, we got a lighter now.
No, we're done with him.
And I guess the only other thing I can think of is, like, the ending, but like you said, too many people have died, so it's incredibly weird.
I mean, maybe it's a thing where it's like we have to like continue his storyline to get more info, maybe.
Maybe, right? I guess you could go back, yeah.
I don't know how we would... this game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't even know about this game. That's why you don't trust Richter Kai. I would trust Richter Kai.
I don't know. Yeah, and you look at man's hat. Look at his hair. Look at that shirt.
Look at the mole on his cheek that constantly switches sides whenever he flips his artwork.
Oh, and trust me, you haven't even seen his backside yet, okay? The backside is just as nice as the front side.
Dude. All right. Saba, I think I'm going to bite the bullet just for the sake of time. I think I'm going to look at the spoiler. Okay, give me a second. Let me put you back in so that way you can see.
God, he is a genius, okay? Not even just Chad. He is beautiful, okay? I mean, look at that belt buckle, okay? Only certain types of people can wear belt buckles like that and pull it off.
Okay. I have the... I unspoilered it. It's this.
Do we do
Sorry,
something instead of like pushing? I wonder.
Reading. Sorry, I'm still reading.
Wait a minute. When it says push, could it be kind of like it's beckoning light and we're pushing the curse back onto her because she's holding onto the curse?
Potentially. That's entirely possible.
What if Shogo starts off with the... What if he actually is holding onto the beckoning light and he just doesn't know it? There it is. What if he's holding onto the beckoning light? Look at it again. What else can we do? So he has the beckoning light?
No, this is just something that is now here.
It's closer. Oh my god. Is that his, like, soul and mind supposed to be coming together?
I think it is.
The other guy's just like, what the hell are you doing? Because he can't see any of this. It feels a little arbitrary that this is here, but I guess I get it. A third one!
It was a third. It was
just
in a different
God!
location. Okay, so...
This is so exciting.
You can attempt these... Oh, sorry. The storyteller will interrupt and ask you 3 questions. You can attempt these many times over. However, if you are struggling, here are the answers, which Mikey did not post. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is good. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, first off, never would have fucking guessed to go back to that specific moment. Why
you think I was
beckoning light there?
Do you think I was right though? Because like the only thing I can think of is that push means that he has beckoning light and he didn't
and he
even
reflected it. Yes, I do think that is what happened. I do think that now Yoko is just evil.
And that's why she drowned, because
we reflected Whispering Canal back on her with beckoning light. And it's the only There you go. Okay.
That's why because we were confused, right? We're like, no, he has Whispering Canal, like, right? Because like he ended up killing her via... Man, I feel like I don't think it was actually too hard, because the idea is that like this was the one really weird thing that happened, and we learned later that beckoning light is a thing that just, you know, pushes their curse back onto themselves. I feel like maybe it would have taken us way longer because there's so much information here, but I like that. I think it's good. Yes.
My. Finally, you have arrived at this juncture. I expected no less from you. You only had to cheat a little bit in order to get here. That would mean that you have managed to bring everything to light.
We knew Shogo was...
Though there is the possibility that you have wound up here by chance. So before I take you any further, I must ask you a number of questions.
It's okay.
About what exactly the soul, body, and mind of Saman are. Firstly, which cursed echo represents
you know
the
what this
soul
is? This is the beckoning light. Yeah, that's the sound of... We are correct.
After his defeat at the hands of Ashino in the Honjo incident, Saman wandered about near Hoyonji. The form of his cursed echo changed over time with the legend he left behind. This is the cursed echo which was acquired by Mayu
No, but what if someone else acquired it first?
But when called forth by Saman's body and mind, it appeared momentarily before him. You know what? I wonder if we were to go back into the VODs, I wonder if we did see that at some point, but we just didn't know what it was.
Maybe. Would be
I
interesting.
don't know. That'd be kind of fun to go back that far. Anyway, let us continue. Who served as the self of Saman? Saman. Who
I think this is
was his
Shogo.
body? It must be Shogo.
It has to be Shogo.
Because we are the mind, right?
Yes, that's the correct.
Correct again. Although Shogo Okie was born to an ordinary family, the blood of a distant relative ran thick in his veins.
I knew Shogo couldn't be dead.
In truth, the same is true for Yoko Fukunaga. She's evil. She's Ashino.
Yes, yes!
Dude, I can't fucking believe it! The very first two characters in this game were the ultimate good guy and the ultimate bad guy, but they just well, I guess she still had her memories maybe, but still, that's so crazy. Saman and Ashino, fated to meet again all these hundreds of years later.
My man, wrong person to be into.
Who is the mind of Saman's...
This is also Shogo. Saman. And this is exactly why they said it could be the same person. Oh, I guess Ovo. That's also good.
Us. Do you think this is correct, or do you think it's Shogo?
I don't mind. We can try both. We can try both because this makes sense because we are this weird abnormal entity that's been able to do stuff, you know. And plus, when Shogo died, I don't know. Maybe maybe he's all powerful.
Wait, you're right. Wasn't there a weird where he's how many people do you think died tonight? And we listed off the number, but it was the number of people that died minus 1. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
I think it probably does, but I'm not sure how it plays into it.
I'm gonna say Obo, and if it's wrong, we'll just say Shogo.
Okay.
No! I think we were wrong!
Just Shogo. Because
Are you saying you believe it to be yourself?
Wait a minute, this is weird? Even though we didn't hear the...
Are you certain? Yeah! Oh my god, dude!
Oh my god!
I can't believe you figured that shit out. That's so cool. Yes, you are correct. Finally, you have remembered.
And who is this? Storyteller.
I don't know. I think he's just the storyteller. Saman's consciousness awoken by the curse and rite of resurrection. However, having lost your memories, you forgot about the duty assigned to you. This is, if I may say so, where I played my part, guiding you through the events of this. As your consciousness was all that was left of you, you manipulated time and space by way of the story chart.
We were able to jump vessel to vessel.
And manipulated your host's actions by whispering commands into their ears. In doing so, you were able to get the full picture of what needed to be done. But at one point, while still unconscious, you managed to remember your duty. The so-called mastermind behind these events, the one who awakened the rite and the curses, was Yoko Fukunaga, descendant of Ashino herself. Dude, I'm fucking so pissed. I can't believe that my fucking Paranormasite crush is evil.
You know what's interesting too, Zach? What's even more meta to a certain degree? Us as players wanting people not to die, right? It's weird because it's
what Saman wanted.
Is what Saman. So it's we embodied him without even knowing it. Ooh.
Because he has the exact same drive that a player would have. God damn it, that's so cool. This game's awesome. This game's fucking incredible. This is as soon as we're done. So right now, you know how I have my Steam organized, into separate groups or whatever. As soon as we're done with this game, this is going right into fucking favorites. This game is so good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but imagine your Steam name was XS Pussy Destroyer XX. That would be really funny. Luckily it's Obo, so I don't have to deal with that. You unconsciously activated your curse and killed her.
Yeah.
How interesting that she awakened Saman's consciousness at the same time as the curses. You're very close. That was the one and only time she could have been stopped.
We did, in one timeline.
In one timeline we did, yeah. But due to your influence on Shogo Okie's will, Yoko Fukunaga was brought back to life.
Oh, maybe
Using
he
the
did
story
the
chart
right,
to
but
undo her death.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was something else.
I led you to believe that it was the work of the Rite of Resurrection itself. But as it turns out, seeing what would transpire if the mastermind was not killed at the outset is what ultimately revealed the way to put an end to the curses for good.
So
That is
he's
true.
like, because Shogo, even though she died, Shogo ended up killing a bunch of people. He's like, this isn't good enough. That this isn't the ending I wanted still, because there's still death. So we needed to go through everyone in order to be able to come back here.
I do believe that you're mostly there. I think the only part that you're slightly wrong on is not the fact that Shogo killed people. It's the fact that that was the only chance for Yoko to die and not interfere with the Rite. That's the only thing that mattered. Like, the fact that Shogo killed, like, Seinfeld and stuff didn't really matter. I don't think.
Oh, not to Seinfeld, but like, all the other people, but I'm not sure.
Like, or Haruwe and stuff, right? Like, like whoever, like all the individuals that Shogo killed. I don't think that actually mattered. I think it was just the fact that Yoko did.
But maybe it was the storyteller too that was kind of like. But I made you think it was like X reason, so you would go and look at everything else in order to be able to get.
That way you could understand. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I concur with this.
There were certain things which would have answered all of your questions.
Excuse you, I'm sorry. Did you say that this was your character?
No, I'm just reading. It's an interesting line.
There were certain things which would have answered all your questions had you noticed them. For example, even while under your control, Shogo Okie willingly used his curse. Yeah, that's true. He was the only guy who automatically used his curse no matter what.
So is it that because he had so much power that, like, it wasn't in our control he just automatically used the curse?
He just automatically used it because he didn't need any sort of external influence, I guess. When I asked you early on how many Shogo Okie had killed,
because it was Yoko.
Yoko killed herself. Had you not used the cursed stone, Shogo Okie would have done so of his own accord.
Yeah.
Interesting. Furthermore, Mayu Chozawa was able to recall information which only you knew. Yes. She was able to do this because she was connected to you through her first echo, the beckoning light.
That I did not even think about.
That seems like some video game nonsense, but I'll accept it, right? That's fine.
The reason why she was very, I guess, I don't know, maybe depending on enough.
That is true, actually, though. There's only 2 characters in the whole game that we did something like that for. It was Mayu to, like, incept, like, the address, right, into her brain, and then it was Shogo telling him to throw the lighter away. Every other character had something else that wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Person of interest.
No! I can't believe she's so... Oh, Saba, you
have
to...
In truth, Saba Yoko is a descendant of Onmyoji who continue to practice in modern times. Her ancestor Ashino attempted to steal the Rite of Resurrection in Honjo during the Edo period. Born with exceptional spirit sense, Yoko learned about her own ancestry while researching her roots. Oh no, she knew the entire time. And was disappointed to find her bloodline had fallen into mediocrity. She became consumed with the ambition to restore her family's lost glory through her own powers and devised a scheme to succeed where Ashino failed and perform the Rite of Resurrection. Yoko continued her training, developing her spiritual and cursed powers until she discovered the Record of Fates, which offered her clues regarding the Rite. She plotted to use the curses of the 7 mysteries of Honjo to gather a large number of soul dregs by calling forth the curse echoes and setting the stage for mutual slaughter. The ultimate plan involved invoking a large-scale feast of shadows, awakening the curses, performing the rite herself, and bringing together enough soul dregs to revive Ashino. She is hella old, okay? That would be a lot of soul
Not as old as the guy that Triangle Girl was trying to bring back.
She was so
only
crazy.
Slightly younger in terms of death. Dude, I'm so pissed at Yoko because like that was the whole thing, right? Was that fucking Triangle Girl when they just because the idea is that these like catalogs, like these like articles that we read, are the truth. They are the truth even beyond what the characters are aware of. And so so like it's really interesting when we read the article on Triangle Girl, and it was like, dude, she's so fucking shallow and she's so selfish and yada yada, you know what I mean? Like just describing her being a bad person. Whereas with Yoko's, it's like we're up here and it's just like, yeah, she's just like really into the occult, man.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like it's not wrong, but it's like a lie of omission, I guess. Anyway,
Since the effects of the curse increase the more people know and fear them, she first entrusted the record of fates to local historian Hideki Araishi, who could be used to easily spread the rumors. She also contacted Fumichika Nijima, a criminal with a deep understanding of mystic arts, to obtain the cursed stones needed to gather soul drives. Unsurprisingly, Nejima was very interested in the story of Ashino and readily agreed to aid his revival. While carrying out these steps, Yuko learned of... Is it Yaku? It's not Yuko. Yoko. I don't know. I think it's a misspelling.
I think that's supposed to be Yoko.
Yeah, I think it's just a misspelling. Yoko learned of the existence of the Yin Scroll, which threatened to thwart her plan. She added a note about the scroll in the Record of Fates before giving it to Araishi, intending to acquire it before it could pose. So she thought he would figure out where it is and get it.
Yeah.
Through her investigations, Yoko discovered that Hajime Yoshimi was a descendant of Seimin and threatened him with a curse in an effort to scare him into revealing the whereabouts of the Yin Scroll. While Hajime bravely resisted Yoko's threat, she killed him with the curse to ensure Seimin's descendant would not stand in it. What curse?
That doesn't...
What curse?
But remember, he died of like a heart attack, so she must have the curse of the Honjo incident, which must be like...
I guess, or maybe she had enough power to curse someone. Not like a curse, but like sorcery.
We're gonna have to discuss this in a second because there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot going on here.
As the preparations were coming together, Yoko obtained the seemingly less dangerous curse stone of the Whispering Canal in order to become a curse bearer, a necessity to gather the curse stone for the Feast of Shadows. Shogo Okie, also a descendant of Seimin, was eyed as a potential risk factor, so she already knew who he was, and contacted to ensure he would be located nearby and subject to monitoring. However, unaware that the spirit of Seimin would be awakened within Shogo as soon as she invoked the curse, Yoko's plan was thwarted when she was immediately cursed to death by Seimin. Good job, dude! Good job, us!
Okay, so, first off, I think that this is an awesome twist. I'm obviously devastated that my waifu is evil, unlike me. But the only detail I wish that they would include here is how long was she preparing for this night?
I think a long time.
It must have been a long time, right? Because like they talked about how difficult it would be because Seimin wasn't anybody famous. Like beyond this particular incident, he wasn't very well documented. So the fact that she was able to trace his bloodline to fucking like 4 different people, it's like crazy, right? And also like it's so weird that she was so... It's so weird that she like okay, like let me bring up a scenario for you, Saba, right? Obviously, your heritage wouldn't really fit with this, like your ancestry wouldn't really fit with this, but just bear with me, right?
True.
Imagine you, apropos of nothing, are doing family tree research, and you discover that you are a descendant of Merlin, right? And then you go, God damn it, I could be an incredible wizard. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna study some nonsense and become a great wizard. And then you dedicate the next like fucking 6 years of your life to that. You know? Because that's what sparked this whole thing at the very top, right? Was that she discovered that she was a descendant of Ashino. And I'm like, first off, how? How exactly did you figure that out? Number 2, how did you not immediately assume that this was nonsense, right? Because remember when the game started off?
Well, it's because she has spirit sense, right? Like, she already was like, I am more than just normal.
You know what, Saba? You're super right. She did already have spirit sense, so that's why she was already incepted to believe this sort of thing. Okay, so that's good. So that makes sense. But then, like, she found out all of this stuff, and, like, why, like, for one, why contact Nejima specifically? Like, why did that matter?
Cause what is it? She wanted to. Can you scroll down to where she, the section?
Wasn't it? Yeah, here.
Criminal to obtain the cursed stones.
To obtain
She
cursed
wanted
stones
to
near Gavit's
use
Goldreg.
him to drag people out because he would totally be fine just killing them.
Cool.
To then gather the stone.
But now here comes my question. How did she know that he had knowledge of cursed stones? That wasn't in any police report.
That is true. That is true.
Right? And like our original theory of the ultimate evil being the chairwoman kind of makes sense because it feels like the chairwoman would have the resources to get this shit done. Whereas in all honesty, Yoko is just a maid.
Yeah.
Right? You know? Like, if she was the maid of the chairwoman, I guess you could say that made sense.
Maybe. Did it say where she was a maid? Or who she was a maid to?
Let's see. While working as a housekeeper. Doesn't say to who.
Desk job.
Following her graduation, Yoko worked at a desk job at a trading company, but butted heads with her supervisor. So, who was skeptical of the supernatural and quit within a year. Now, while working as a housekeeper, she spends her days devouring mystery magazines and visiting haunted spots. It's entirely possible that she was able to access these sort of resources to do this investigation by, kind of manipulating the chairwoman. But at the same time, it's kind of nuts, right?
I agree.
It's like, once again, we're going to continue here in a second. I do not have any fundamental issues with Yogo being the secret evil mastermind behind the whole game. But at the same time, it is really weird how much of her plan doesn't need her there, right?
Yeah.
Because she fucking dies, and the whole thing is totally fine.
I will say, what I love too, because it's like you saw that I was like a little bit frustrated that I'm like, so we're not coming back to Shogo. Like Shogo's just done. Like we can't do anything for Shogo. And I will say, I really do like this. If this can result in Shogo staying alive along with everyone else, I'm happy.
I'll re-emphasize this word, by the way.
No, he is a very remarkable young man.
Not only is he a fucking descendant of like Merlin, but he also has like innate spirit powers that he just never. So that's the other thing, Saba. Like, how does Yoko have spirit sense and ergo like have a natural inclination towards the paranormal, whereas apparently Shogo's spirit sense is astronomically higher?
I don't know. That's the weird thing, because I know she trained, but out of this whole time, he should have noticed something,
Right? Exactly. So what? Once again, we're gonna move on here in a second. This has been me critiquing a lot of like the little plot holes that have like shown up over time, especially with this revelation. But I do want to point out that this is a really good sign that this story is like pretty well written, because we are so familiar and so enthralled by the story that we are paying attention to these little details and are able to point them out. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to say that my husbando in the game, if I could claim him, was the good guy.
Wrong. Incorrect.
Is a good guy.
Our husbando.
Our husband. Well, luckily to say that she wasn't my waifu, but he is my husbando.
I can't believe that the one, because remember I played like a little bit of this before I showed you and before we started the series, and I was like, dude, Yoko is my girl. I love her so much. I can't believe, dude, I would get murdered. If this was me, I would have died.
Yes, Mikey, PARANORMASIGHT is your favorite game.
It better be. This game deserves it.
Okay, what are we gonna do now?
Allow me to ask you one last question. If you, knowing all that you know now, had the ability to resurrect one life, what would you do? I mean, it's
they've
the new
added
option,
this.
probably, right?
Probably, right? In terms of this, don't mess around with these things, basically.
Can we talk about this slightly? I
Yeah.
do believe that this is obviously the answer because it's the new one, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that the rite of resurrection requires soul dregs,
Mhm.
I'm going Death Note here, right? I'm going Death Note.
Oh, you could save as well. That is true.
Is there no option to save? That is true. I could
Oh,
save this. Oh, did
So
Ash show up?
sorry. Yeah, we did had to have some help, but the logic of it really made sense. Our eyes opened wide, and we were
We
like,
just didn't know where the light would show up. That was the problem. We just didn't know where it was. But
because Zack was hovering on like, oh, this is like where we need to go within Shogo's storyline, and I was like, oh my god, Zack, what if because Shogo has stuff is like related to Saman, what if that push that we saw wasn't him using Whispering Canal? It was him doing beckoning light, and so yeah, but then I didn't realize it.
She did say this, but she said it about 5 minutes after I said it because she was too hype about what was happening and she didn't hear me.
It is true.
It's totally fair. She came to the conclusion all on her own, but it is recorded.
So when you turn Zack to
British
Soul Drags,
Duwak came down from the sky and showed us two wing nuts the light. Listen, but
hold on.
I do want to point out the idea of like even after this entire game, I do think I would try to resurrect somebody, but obviously the game is trying to tell us to destroy it.
Always was wondering about that because it happens when you turn around. So when us as Shogo turns around, that's when the push appears.
Yeah, because she's trying to use it against us.
Yeah, it was crazy as so I don't think we made that connection until like later here, but was Saman's original intention.
That was Saman's original intention.
Yes, Mikey. I would say I think we could have eventually figured it out. As I was saying before,
it would have been a lot of trial and error of just going through every chapter looking. So I think what we would have done was that it would have taken us a while to realize that it had something to do with guiding light. Because there was that one time where we saw it and then it was like, oh, something changed, but we don't know where. It would have taken us a long time to figure out that was what we were supposed to be looking for. And then through process of elimination, we would have went to Shogo's timeline since he was the only one who had the opportunity to interact with Yoko. And then we would have just chapter by chapter tried to figure it out.
I think when we would have gotten to like the push eventually, I think we would have because what we did before too is we stopped there. We were both confused on why that was happening. I think we would have made the connection then. I don't think it's like to the nth degree, it being going through 20 spider webs before we reached, the fact that it's beckoning light. I think we would have figured it out much sooner than that. Oh, we shall leave behind.
He's taking. If we succeed in our objective of destroying the rite of resurrection, we're gonna finally move on to the afterlife.
Shogo, we're coming back.
Shogo, kill her. I know she's so cute, my guy, but you gotta kill her.
She's already dead.
There you go.
Yeah. He was the one who did that to Yoko.
It's so, god damn it. I'm so pissed, dude. I can't fucking believe it.
And we were very
Why couldn't it have been the chairwoman
trying to save her? So, well, red herring.
Yeah. And
good use of red herring.
It was a good red herring too, because it's like the game never said like I do think that it might have went a little too far when it was remember Michio's evil dad who like performed the ritual and stuff? Yes, like remember that was funded by the chairwoman. The chairwoman was telling him to do these rituals and stuff. And so it's like, okay, that makes sense. That kind of connects to the idea of her being the ultimate evil. But now that we know that the ultimate evil was actually Yoko, that
I think they just so happened.
Yeah.
It happened coincidentally. Like the chairwoman wanted the rite of resurrection, so she also saw what was happening and tried to, you know, be like, this will be helpful.
Hey, doesn't this mean that the henchman guy is about to show up?
Yes. Dang,
I
Shogo,
need
you're
a
brutal.
drink.
Dang, Shogo, you are brutal, by the way. He just used the curse on... It wasn't that the curse was strong enough to like, trigger itself.
What the hell?
We're shifting? What's happening?
Hey now, welcome back. Ma'am, what is it? Ma'am, what is it?
Ah. Just a dream. It seems that it was all just a dream. I dreamt that there was such a thing as the rite of resurrection. Just a dream.
I'm sorry to say it, but there isn't.
Right, of course not. Yoko had to come up sometime in the story. Blah, blah.
What is Az saying something?
Yeah, I said Yoko had to come up sometime in the story, so I always had suspicion. They did push a lot of stuff on Ayame too. Chairwoman too, of course. Yeah. It was just one of those things as well where it's like, well, we also never see the chairwoman, right? Like we did get, you know, her information and
But
stuff.
I thought that was video game shit, right? Where like she was going to be revealed. Because remember, that was our whole thing, was like, oh, imagine she's in a wheelchair, which is why she needs an attendant all the time, and it's because her leg's rotten off.
Yes,
you know?
but that's also why, like, I was a bit bummed being like, so this is all we got of Shogo and Yoko, you know? So they never showed up again.
Okay,
we definitely
so now we're just going through.
We definitely would not have been able to finish this last time.
No, absolutely not. Hey, doesn't this mean that I no longer need to die?
Yeah!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the hell is this? The medical unit told me to get down here. What happened? This is fucked up, dude.
As I was looking into Yoshimi's death at the former Yasuda Gardens. Yeah, so she still died. Another body was discovered at a different park in the area. Could they be related? Is he talking about this?
Once again, there's still this like resounding question left behind of like, how did she fucking kill Yoshimi?
I think she just had enough power, like spiritual power to like...
She just had the ability to go like, fuck you, and his heart just stopped.
I think something along those lines, yeah.
But that's okay. First off, that doesn't make any fucking sense, because if that's the case, first off, she would have had to do that before the Feast of Shadows, because that's how the timeline works. And if people can have the power to just go fuck you, and your brain turns to pudding.
Well, no, she trained, right? Wasn't that the point?
There would be no such thing as like paranormal activity. It would just be like, dude, I can do fucking magic, right?
He's well, I don't know. Like I said, she trained, and I don't know. Maybe that's supposed to account for like her strong enough magical ability to do that. But Mike, he's just pouting. Okay, he's a little bugger. Okay, his personality is just like that.
Like,
and by the way,
I don't
yeah,
want to do this.
Yako does it too, because they're both kind of little, like I said, little, just annoying.
Juvenile.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good term.
Sure looks like it, but
I knew it. I was about to say you should make him Kermit.
Frog here. Excuse me. We found this among the victim's belongings. Thought you would want to know.
What's this?
What the fuck is up with... What the hell? Did you see the silhouette of that guy in the background?
Yeah! What the hell? Is this the Whispering Canal? Boss, look what was in the female victim's address book. Yoshimi's phone number and photo. Oh,
okay.
This is something else.
What?
Okay. And the picture. There's an X drawn on it and a bunch of weird symbols and a hole where his heart would be.
She did
She
voodoo?
definitely...
She fucking did voodoo? But that doesn't make it... How, in this world, in the world of Paranormasight, how does everybody not know that fucking magic is real?
I can't believe she death noted this man.
She's not even the strongest spirit sense user that we've met in this game. Like, what are you
Oh
talking about?
my god.
Apparently voodoo is a thing now. So what you're telling me is that we have Western black magic, which is like occult ritual shit. We have Eastern black magic, which is like, you know, like Asian ritual shit. And now we have fucking like African slash
Okay,
Cajun
by
black
the way,
magic.
you don't whether or not this is voodoo. We're like quickly transpiring because that's what we like, you know, associate it with.
It's fucking
But it
voodoo.
doesn't. What is
What
this
the
from
fuck,
saying
Obo?
no?
This is not my favorite game.
Do you think, I mean, could this be some kind of curse or something?
Oh, right, because this would be before Tetsuo tells him that the Paranormal Bureau exists.
Yeah, I
How
still
many
think this is a
times do I have
Death
to
Note
tell
scenario.
you not to try and connect everything to the occult? Damn it. Is this a Nagagoshi case after all?
Yes, sir. What was that, boss?
Don't worry about it. Make sure you put that photo into evidence. There's no doubt that this is related to Yoshimi. Make sure you do a thorough sweep of the area.
Aww. So he's not part of our team. Oh.
Yeah, but you know what else that this means? This also means that he's not going to be able to commiserate with his daughter.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
also
maybe
means
it'll
that- it
happen
also
down
means
the
that Harue's
line.
not going to get her son back.
Yeah, but you know, I think the better option of that was that she just went to grieve, I guess.
Doesn't this mean that
Where
Mayu
Yako?
is still, well, doesn't this mean that Mayu is still gonna get fucking stuck in a is stuck in a
Oh my god, yeah, what's gonna happen to Michi?
What is gonna happen to Michio? Well, she still gets hit by a car by default, right? So isn't she fucked
Are
no
we
matter
gonna
what?
are we gonna be able to, you know, send her off to the afterlife peacefully?
Like
Meow.
immediately? Like right now?
Yeah. It turns out Michio
Well,
really did
she
die
should
in an
be-
accident.
She should be possessing us right now. by the
Yes,
way.
yeah, but oh, once again, I think Mio actually knew, right? Early, she just didn't want to say anything because it would
Right, I think
upset
you're
us.
right. Yeah. If we ask around, we might be able to get a little more information.
I guess there never really was such a thing as the rite of resurrection. So what's happened?
How do they-
So like Shogo went and he got rid of it, and like now it's just fading from people's memories.
I guess so. I guess now that he had the knowledge, he just immediately went and accomplished the Yin Scroll
Yeah.
and just made all the curses go away.
Yeah, and plus I think maybe Michio would pass on a lot sooner because she doesn't have like a murder stone.
Vendetta.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a murder stone. Good point. Oh shit! Araishi! Well, first off, you're a piece of shit and you murdered a bunch of people just for fun.
Psychic
attack! Psychic attack! But at the same time, I do feel kind of bad because this means that his career is like gonna go down the toilet, right?
Well, no, the idea of the right still exists, right? But like the way of doing it doesn't work. Psychic attack. But he couldn't have killed anyone here, I guess, right? No one actually killed anyone. The only person that died, I think, was Yoshimi
To
and
all of you watching
Yoko.
from far, far away, the rite of resurrection has never existed.
Oh, never
Not
mind.
in
I guess it's
any
just
world,
gone.
Not any time. So I ask you to take the life you hold and move boldly forward, one step at a time.
Reminder, Raishi is screwed. Well, fair. Richter, wise out. Do you want to question
Oh, because
him?
he never would have died by Michio.
Yeah.
We don't have to read this. 'cause
Why
it's
are
gonna
we
be
working
dumb.
together? This is where I guess.
Oh, that's the kidnapper of her kid. So she does
Yeah.
get retribution.
Oh, Seinfeld.
Oh, and Seinfeld's the guy who killed Michio.
So kind of. So he didn't turn into be a brat because he was manipulated for the most part, and this is Tono. So maybe we will have
So maybe
reconciliation.
we will commiserate with the daughter.
Why is she crying? Oh, never mind. The whole thing with Michio still happened. Oh.
Yeah, of course it did.
Okay, this
Michio
is
still gets
good.
hit by the car.
I guess the timeline's a bit different. Maybe these things are happening a lot faster than we think.
Yeah, I mean, this is clearly day, but yeah.
Boss is
And
hiding
Boss
something.
is hiding something because he never would have told him about the Paranormal Bureau.
Hajime family
There seems to be
tree.
some kind of secret hidden in his family tree. Let me see
Richter
if
will
I can
probably
find out what
find
it is. Oh, come on, please. A sequel with these three. Mayu, Richter, and Iro. God, that would be so
There was
good.
multiple timeline things happening, but basically, Mikey, yeah, we've done something where it affected, yeah, everything. Seem to have this spirit sense thing. All of us, why are we talking to him? I know it's the sort of thing our chairwoman doesn't approve of. Interesting.
Okay. Are you not? Wait.
You could have called, didn't you think you were standout? I had to find out from why. So,
Yeah, but
he
say,
didn't
this
kill
is
anyone,
Neji.
I guess, so he's just out. Wait, does he still want to resurrect? Because he went into black magic. This is a weird thing. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how much that would work.
There's your evil daughter.
I mean, I think it'll work out, I guess. Because it seems like they at least talked to each other.
Well, yeah. I would define it as worked out in the sense that, like, the entire city wasn't slaughtered. So that way she could fuse her mind with that of a great artist.
Yeah.
I do like the idea, by the way, that that was always her intention, not to revive him, but to like combine herself with him, so that way she could be famous and rich and stuff. Because that sounds exactly like what she would do.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I do find the ending to be a little mundane. For like the revelation of who Shogo is and who Yoko is and stuff like that, like that's really intense and really cool. But at the same time, I don't find it enormously satisfying because everything, like almost everything we did in the game ended up not mattering. Needs more time, Cave. Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like I was pretty happy with, like, man, we followed along all, like, these people and everything that happened just to, like, learn, because we were Salmon, just to learn how we could fix everything so none of that had to actually happen.
Well, right, but the idea that the entire game, like the last fucking 18 hours that you and I have played, really just boils down to, oh yeah, by the way, that first death was supposed to happen.
Well, I mean, think about it like this.
That's a cool twist, but
thing,
I don't
right?
know.
It's almost like a discovery thing, Zack. Same thing with, like, Outer Wild. You could have just gone straight to finishing the thing. If you just knew the information, you don't need to go visit any planets. You could just finish the game there. But it's not. That's not what makes it fun.
I don't know if we could have. I wonder if that's the case. I wonder if I were to delete my save, start the game, get to that conversation.
That
with
would be
Henchman
interesting.
Guy, and
I don't know.
wonder if it would work immediately. I highly doubt it, but I wonder if it would.
I don't know, because maybe you needed to trigger the thing at the bridge.
Needed to be sent there from the future.
So look, maybe look
right
there is a point. So this needed to happen. You actually needed all of this stuff to happen.
Right, but like, I don't know, and obviously this is like fan treatment type stuff, but like,
what?
In my
Hold
like
on,
what
pause,
I
pause.
thought, what I. Sorry.
Pause. So apparently there's an achievement to start a new game and do it in one loop without dying a single time.
I mean, we could do.
And I don't know if
now
that's the
that we
same
know.
thing. I don't think that's the same thing as what I think Zack was saying.
That's not the same thing, because if it's
Oh,
without
in
people
Outer
dying-
Wilds. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. I was like, what? I don't think. I was
Probably-
like, this is nothing.
Baba's distracting us now. So what I was gonna say was that what I thought the ending was gonna be, I thought that the chairwoman was gonna end up being possessed by Ashino, and then that was gonna be the ultimate confrontation. I thought that there was gonna be a big
Yeah.
confrontation between all of the good guys and whatever curse stones they had, versus like fucking Whispering Canal and like maybe one more.
I see
like
what you're
maybe the
saying.
Taiko drum.
I feel
You know
like
what I
you would
mean?
have been more satisfied if we had gone to the thing where we didn't actually kill Yoko. Like, we confronted her, and when she tried to do something, that's when,
Completely
like,
agreed Okie's ending. Look at that fucking long ass line.
Hell yeah!
That's really funny. No, but I think you're pretty much hitting the nail on the head, because it's like, I genuinely wanted the thing where it's like so many. Okay, because of the ending that we ended up getting, the only person who ended up dying was Yoko.
Yoko, yeah.
Right? She was the only one who ended up dying, which was okay, because she was the evil mastermind who wanted to conduct this whole thing to begin with. And it's like, okay, that's fine. Whereas, like, in the ending that I thought we were going to get, I thought there was going to be this big final confrontation where it's like, hey, it's revealed that I never actually died from, you know, the curse that you put on me, or I did my own right and I was able to come back, yada, yada, whatever. And then there was going to be a thing. And the very last thing I wanted was Haruo to get her son back. Because I wanted there to be a thing where it's like, hey, if you take all of the curse stones, there's more than enough to, like, revive your son. And then that would be like the post-credit scene of, like, her son is back, and, you know, that, and none of this needed to, you know, happen or whatever. But, you know, like, that being said, I'm not disappointed with the ending. It's just not what I was expecting. So I'm a little deflated by that, I guess. But fuck, yeah, that's PARANORMASIGHT, my guy. That's a good game.
I would give it a solid, I think, even like 9 out of 10. I thought it was really
I would
good.
definitely say 9 out of 10. Give me a second.
9
Play the
out
game
of 10.
in the middle of the night is an achievement I never got, and PARANORMASIGHT is acquire all other achievements. There are 6 hidden achievements we did not get.
Well, we missed some of the Mockingbirds, obviously, so I think that's one of them.
Yeah, so I think that's one of them. I'll look into those later. Maybe
we have a total of, we got all 5 other endings, I think.
Is that true?
Because we got 1, 2, and then the third one happened later on, which I was like, that's weird. And then we got 4, which was before we got 3, and then we got 5 in conclusion. Yeah, Az also agrees we got all the endings.
All right, well, that's really good that we were able to do that. I guess we're gonna, well, we're not wrapping up stream. We still have 2 fucking hours left of stream. So I guess what we should do now, normally we do this during the credits, but obviously this game had so much stuff going that I was just kind of rambling. I don't know, Salva, how do you feel about PARANORMASIGHT? And I don't just mean like, oh, did you like it? I mean, like, what was your, you know what we could do? You know what we could do? We did a lot of this during my business trip last week. Give me a rose, thorn, and bud. Do you know what that means?
Basically, you're like asking me to talk something good about the game, something bad.
Something you didn't like, and then something that you look forward to in the future.
Yeah, so all of this game in terms of like the thinking process, I think was really fun and neat, and going to other people to then come back to the start, I thought was pretty cool. I think you even mentioned this before. Like, there's a couple of stuff that I'm like, I don't want to say could have been better, but they just went in a separate direction, as I think you kind of mentioned too, is that it didn't really become a game about you're dealing with curses as much. We went from, like, we deal with curses.
Look how much of the game was after sunrise. Like, you're
so
right.
So it went from curse to then buddy cop duo thing, which I really liked as well.
Which is fun, but that's not what the game was.
Started out, right? Yeah, and then we came kind of back at the end.
Like what I thought the game was going to be, and what I told you I thought it was I thought we were going to have like this, because I knew that there was timelines, right? I thought we were going to have this like complex interconnected weave of like, hey, what happens if this character and this character encounter each other, and now you have to reconcile one of them dying because they tripped the other one's curse. You know what I mean? But like, but you're so right. Like that would be one of my thorns with this game, is the fact that like the curses just stop fucking mattering. The curses are essentially just a like a gun or a nuke, right? Either the curse is
in relation to like the story. I think that's the thing. Maybe to you, like, it starts out being like, oh, the curses and avoiding the curses is what's most important. It's like, that's not what it is. Where the curses come from and why this is happening, that's what's
ultimately important.
Yeah.
But I mean, but you can do that while also having this like cool, because once again, the game genuinely, from a mechanical standpoint, never does anything as interesting as turning off the voice slider.
Yeah, that was the most meta thing. We have not played
And
Raging
that was really
Loop
cool. And
as.
so I thought that the game was going to keep
not
doing
aware of what
stuff
it
like
is.
that, where it's like, hey, you know, do more mechanically interesting things the deeper and deeper you go into the game. But once again, it just doesn't do that. It just becomes about like, hey, are you paying attention to the story that we're telling? Which luckily you and I were, so we were able to like, you know,
But yeah,
figure shit
the
out pretty
narrative
easily.
the narrative was doing a good enough job to like be like, even though we got in this went in this direction, I still think it was really good. Let's see.
It
Have
did
you
that
ever?
one thing where you had to save. Very good point, Mikey.
That is
but that
true.
being said, I will say it is kind of sad that that never came back. The fact that we held on to that save and never overwrote it, it's a little sad that it never came back. But you're very
Well,
right
it's
that
the
was
same
important.
thing. Hold on. So first of all, we've never played Raging Loop. I think I mentioned that. 2,
What's
I mean,
Raging?
I don't know. It's an as apparently a game that Az brought up. I still find merit. It's the same thing, and maybe you didn't like think of this, Zack, but I still find merit. It's like the same thing with an Eastward. I thought there was merit in holding on to her sandwich like the whole time and not eating it because it felt like it meant something to me.
Intrinsically, sure, yes.
But like they didn't do anything for that either, even though that was an option that you could do.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that like the sandwich didn't actually have any in-game significance. The sandwich was just something that they gave you early on and you wanted to hold on for the entire game. That was like you putting value on the sandwich when the game was like, it's just a sandwich. Whereas in this case, it's like, hey, this save represents you forgetting your best friend.
Yeah,
You know what
but
I mean?
I'm
Like,
happy.
that's significant.
Yeah. And I wish, and I guess on both options they maybe could have acknowledged that if you managed to do it.
It would have been
So-
it would have been really interesting where like at the very end, once again, Michio would have died regardless because she got hit by the car because of Triangle Girl. Where by the way, I don't think she ever gets punished for that. Because what's his face was actually behind the wheel of the car, so he gets punished, but you know, whatever. Apparently Triangle Girl gets to just be evil for the rest of her life. But the and Yoko's dead. But anyway, that's beyond the point. But like it would have been kind of interesting if there was like a thing where like the ghost of Michio like shows up at the end. Like imagine if it was just like super faint. Like
No.
5% opacity in the background where it's like the ghost of Michio is there and she's like all smiling because we held on to that save. Like even something that tiny would have been like really rewarding just as a thing where it's like, hey, don't forget, don't fucking overwrite this save. Not that it needed it. Once again, I want to point out, I want to reiterate, this game fucking 9 out of 10. This is incredible. This is immediately going into my favorites folder as soon as we're done here before we transition to Little Goody Two Shoes.
Yeah, so
but
let
yeah.
me finish what your question you asked me. Also, by the way, apparently Raging Loop is also like a psychological horror taking place in like Japan, and it's basically akin to like The Mist.
Okay,
The plot of The
I can
Mist.
look into that.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That's actually pretty cool. So that would be one of my. I think I've got minimal thorns for this, but yeah, that was one of the kind of weird things that happened. Not even necessarily a thorn, but just a really interesting direction.
I would
it
describe
went
it
in.
as like bristles. I don't know if you would agree with that. I don't have any thorns. There's nothing like particularly egregious where I'm like, man, this kind of ruined the game. It's just a lot of little prickly things where I'm like, eh.
So in terms of Bud, I'm hoping that, I don't know, they make a series of something out of this, right? Because as you mentioned, like it's
The next
PARANORMASIGHT.
game.
Yeah.
And
And
then the
they've-
7 Mysteries of Honjo.
Yeah, so they've set up that Western magic exists. We know Eastern magic exists. I would love to have another one of something like this. And if they're able to do it, and they're able to make something else that's also like as cool as this, that'd be cool. Ask us to check our files.
Check our files? What? Thank you for playing the game all the way to the very end. We look forward to the day we can present you with
Yay!
Sincerely yours, Nakagoshi! Dude, that's the director
Yay!
of the Girl! Yeah!
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh my god, file 23 because this came out in 2023.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
That's awesome.
I
Dude,
am-
that's fucking hype.
It is a bud waiting to bloom. I am waiting for the next one.
I'm going to I'm going to ride the coattails of Saba's Bud. The next time a Paranormasight game comes out, I will be there day one. I won't let this one slip past me like it did originally. But I do want to say, and then we'll wrap it up with Paranormasight, but and then move on to Little Goody Two Shoes. But I do actually have a rose and a thorn at the same time, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So I want to reiterate, I understand that it's not necessarily the destination, it's the journey that matters quite often, right?
Yeah.
But I would say that the rose, like one of the roses I haven't mentioned yet, or I kind of mentioned, was the character writing in this game is phenomenal. Almost every character was at a minimum like unique and at maximum adorable. Like I loved them so much.
And by the way, smarter than we gave them credit for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was great character writing, where it's like Mio and Tetsuo, like the people who were supposed to be smart and good at their job, Mio, Tetsuo, Richter, these were individuals who we were like yelling at the screen, like, we know what the solution is. And then it's like, oh yeah, guess what? We knew when you knew. It's just we didn't want to mention it because we wanted to make sure we had all of our ducks in a row first. And it's like, that's great. That's so genius.
Yeah.
But anyway, so many of the characters were incredible. Despite the fact that she didn't show up until like the 11th hour, fucking Mayu, awesome. Both of the high school girls, but especially Mio, awesome. Richter, incredible. Haruwe is okay. She's obviously like damaged as a person, and I can't really hold that against her, but she's right there. She's teetering on the fence of being evil, but she never falls, so she's okay. Fucking the dynamic between Tetsuo and Iro is so good. I desperately want them to come back for a sequel.
We love Richter, Mio, like all of these guys are really cool.
Richter, Mio, Tetsuo, Iro. Well, Iro is kind of once Tetsuo was dead, Iro kind of was whatever. But like the dynamic between the two of them specifically was so beautiful. And then so it's like, I don't know, for a sequel, once again, I will just repeat, I really want Tetsuo, Richter, Iro, Mayu, and Mio to show up in, like, I want them to be the main 5 characters in the next one.
You could potentially throw Shogo in there somehow as well, because I feel like that'd be interesting.
Well, that's the thing you're actually kind of, thank you for the segue, you're actually kind of touching upon the thing that I was about to describe as like a thorn. I think as of right now, I think this is the only thing I can really identify as a thorn, where it's like Shogo doesn't really have a personality beyond just kind of being blank character. And the fact that like the game starts and ends, like it's bookended with him, is a little sad, because it's like we didn't actually spend that much time ultimately with Shogo. And even the time that we did have with Shogo, he was just kind of like an anime protag, you know, in terms of being kind of faceless.
Az gave some interesting comments.
Do well though, right? As far as I know, Paranormasight has not actually made its money back yet, which is sad.
So I'm
hoping, I just wanted to say, I'm hoping that through word of mouth by stuff like this, that it will eventually do well. I think that Paranormasight is going to be like a cult classic as time goes on. Because this game is way better than fucking like Five Nights at Freddy's 5, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, you were saying.
So Az was saying, and I agree with this, there is a really cool amount of foreshadowing, and this is something even I forgot, because at the beginning, this is Az, at the beginning of the game, the storyteller says, technology that doesn't exist in your time, like color television and street telephones, because Seimen is from the Edo period.
Seimen, who's hundreds of years. Oh my god! Oh my god, that's so cool.
Crazy.
Because the implication is that it doesn't exist in our time because we're beyond it. Wrong. He's talking to Seimen, who's hundreds of years old. Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh, that's so good.
As soon as not that I have much of a following in YouTube, but as soon as I like upload this video for this Paranormasight, I'm gonna hit this to go live, because this definitely does deserve to be brought up more. It's really good. It's really good.
Where did Five Nights at Freddy's come into this? I was just bringing up Five Nights at Freddy's because like Five Nights at Freddy's like 1, 2, and arguably 3 were like good games in and of themselves. But then like as the series continues forward, they just get like worse and worse over time. And
I guess that could be like it's a lasting obsession when maybe you guys could like switch to something else now that the game's kind of gone down.
There's a thing that exists in the world called mind share. This is like a phenomenon that exists where it's like there's only so much of the zeitgeist that people can pay attention to, like regular people can pay attention to. And it's not specifically Five Nights at Freddy's. I just brought it up as like an example because the movie just came out or whatever. But like there are so many like mid-tier like suspense, horror, whatever titles that exist where it's just like people don't pay attention to shit like Paranormasight, whereas like this game deserves so much more. And it's just sad, I guess that's what I mean. With the way that the game is structured, do you think Paranormasight would translate well into an anime? I actually think that it might translate better than the video game, or at least the second half would translate better into an anime, because it would be a lot quicker than the video game was.
I think the Shogo Okie can only work in the video game setting because it's something where it's like, dang, we only played as him at the beginning, but then you come back tying in this kind of looping narrative. But I agree, like the whole buddy cop thing.
The whole buddy cop thing, I think, would work really well in anime form, because the two main things that you can't really translate, obviously, to the anime format is A, all of the like meta elements that happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that we as a player do not need to necessarily speak to the game in order to have something conveyed. We just click on a button is really powerful. Whereas in the anime, imagine that scene with Shogo where he just randomly throws away his lighter for some reason. Like, how would you convey the significance of that moment in anime without it just being kind of weird with no explanation, right? At least until the very end of the series where it would then be explained. But then the other one, which Saba and I would obviously both agree on this, that you wouldn't be able to convey in anime, is the fucking files. There is no way on God's green earth that you would be able to convince like anime fans to read that much text whenever something interesting happened on screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the whole seinen element is something that's kind of tied into gameplay, because once again, it's like as game players, like the whole meta of like, oh, what we want is what seinen wants. That's like because it's us controlling it, right? That level of being involved within this
that like
media
meta element is so awesome.
Yeah, it's like it furthers things. It definitely makes it better. Like that's something I don't think you can get in anime.
Okay.
So.
We are going to I think we're gonna stop it here. I think that this was an excellent episode of Paranormasight. Man, this game is fucking awesome. Not flawless, but very, very close to being so. So I think what we're going to do, I don't know if anybody's going to stick around for this. Even if you don't, that's fine. I think what we're going to do, we're going to take a very brief break so I can go get some water. And then when we come back in like when we come back in like 5 minutes, we will continue our playthrough of Goody Two Shoes, which is going to be our Sunday playthrough moving forward until we finish that. Mm-hmm. All right? Cool. Great. So I think we're gonna cut it here. Goodbye, everybody. Play Paranormasight. Buy it if you haven't. I don't know if anybody's ever gonna hear this, but like fucking Paranormasight's really fucking good. Give it a try. All right.
Great.
Jojo.
All right, I'm gonna mute Zack, but yeah, thanks to everyone who joined. As lovely having you here. You really helped us out. You made it twice as interesting. Zack says he's going to, and I'll make sure to confirm. So Zack said he was going to get the mockingbirds and then send them to me, because I want to see what the mockingbirds are. But yeah, like I said, 9 out of 10 game. Other people should definitely know about it, and I'm excited to, if they come out with something else, I'm excited to see it. And who knows, maybe you can come and hang out with us again if that happens. So alrighty, I'm gonna hit the break. as I change and do a bunch of other stuff, and then we'll be back with, Little Goody Two Shoes. That's the name. Okay, be right back.
Little Goody Two Shoes.